speaker will be Tim Wilson. And Tim Wilson will be presenting at Deborah's Place, which is a place where homeless women can stay while they are working to put their lives to get back together. Today he is practicing the second part of his speech. Please join me in welcoming Tim Wilson.
First thing you need to do to declare your direction in life is to write down 10 things you'd really like to do or that you want to do. Maybe you haven't done them, but you'd always like to do them. You thought they might be interesting. If you want, you can begin doing that now, or just listen to me. The way our mind works is we have all these ideas that are always going on in our mind. We just keep on thinking about all this stuff, and usually it's 3 or 4 ideas. We have 3 or 4 ideas in our mind all the time, and they just keep changing all the time. And as a new idea comes up, it knocks that idea in the back of our head, and then there's another idea that comes in, then another new idea comes in, and it knocks it in the back of our head. So over the years, we have all this stuff at the back of our head. We have no clue what it is, but it's sitting back there, waiting to be discovered. In the meantime, we go through all this stuff about our 3 or 4 ideas. So you ask anybody, what do you want to do in your life? Where do you want to be? And you're like, this, that, and then boom, a new idea comes in, goes to the back of our head, and I don't know, well maybe this, or maybe that. It's crazy. So if you really want to figure out what you want to do, you have to write it down. Magic happens when you write things down. When you write things down, your mind focuses. All of a sudden, all the spinning around that we do in our mind stops. We say, okay, that's important. I've written it down. That's important. That's what I want to do. It's so important because what happens so often in thinking about what I want to do in life, we just start thinking about different things in our head. We never write them down. We never really focus in. And we never realize what's actually there. The other thing that's so important about this writing things down is you notice there are 10 things to write down. 10 different things you like to do or that you're doing and you really enjoy. 10 is a magic number because what usually happens was we stop at 3 or 4. We have these 3 or 4 ideas. And if you ask anybody what they want to do, you can probably write down right now 3 or maybe 4 ideas. When you get to 5, when you get to 6, it gets more challenging. But you have to go deeper in your mind and pull back all of that stuff that was there and get it back to the front of your head. So what you're doing when you're writing things down is you're focusing your mind, you're digging back into all that stuff that's back there. All the stuff that you're aware of, you've thought about, but you haven't thought about in a long, long time. And as you put it down on the paper and you start to look at it, you start to make it real. Because once you start focusing on it, you say, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, then things start to happen. Then things start to say, okay, I'm focused on that, that's important to me. And as you're writing things down, you start to notice something else. Your mind plays tricks on you. You may have thought you had 5 or 6 really great ideas about what you want to do, but actually you didn't. And when you write them down, you're going to start to notice that. For instance, if you write down the first idea, I like to do gardening. Your second idea, I like to do gardening in the morning. Third idea, I like to do gardening in the evening. Fourth idea, I like to do gardening in the afternoon. Fifth idea, I like to do gardening in between the morning and the afternoon. Not 5 ideas. And you'll notice that very quickly. But in your head, it seems sort of like 5 ideas because everything keeps on changing, keeps on readjusting. When you write them down, you instantly say, okay, that's just gardening written out over and over and over and over again. I've got to figure out these different ideas. What's the first one? What's the second one? What's the third one? And by doing that, you pull things back from the back of your mind to the front. And it's so important to do that. Because if you're going to get started focusing on a direction where you want to go in life, you're going to have to see what actually is there. So often what we do is we censor things. And that's the way our mind works too. We've got all these ideas in our head and we think, ah, stupid idea, bam, back of the head. That's a dumb idea, back of the head. And all this stuff sits back there because we've censored it before we've actually done it, before we've even tried it, before we've fully thought it out. So we need to get all those ideas at the back of our head. We need to become aware of them. We need to become focused on them. It's so important and so vital to become focused on these ideas and to write them all down. As many as you can. If you can get to 10, great. If you can get to 15, even better. Just make sure each idea is separate, each idea is different, each idea is unique. Because once you start writing these ideas down, once you start understanding each of these ideas separately, that is of vital importance. We go to the next step,